We don't often stop to think of this, but Australian elections have often been innovative and perhaps even radical. Secret ballots and preferential voting were innovative when Australia started using them. Compulsory voting is a characteristic which other democratic societies consider quite extraordinary. In most democracies, the choice of whether to vote is fundamental, but this also means that votes are skewed by turnout and affected by apathy. In Australia, we're forced to either make a choice or pay a fine. In this High Court case, the Commonwealth Electoral Act said that every elector who fails to vote at an election without a valid and sufficient reason for such failure shall be guilty of an offence. Mr. Judd was a committed socialist. He refused to vote in the election of senators for New South Wales in 1925. His reason was as follows. All the political parties and their candidates participating in the election support and do all in their power to perpetuate capitalism with its exploitation of the working class. The Socialist Labor Party, of which I am a member, stands for the ending of capitalism and the inauguration of socialism, and consequently its members are prohibited from voting for supporters of capitalism. The Socialist Labor Party has paid and lost hundreds of pounds in federal election deposits for its candidates. The unjust penalty of £25 on each candidate penalises us if we participate in a federal election, and your letter suggests that we will be penalised if we don't. Is this fair? In other words, the Socialists would lose their deposit if they stood their own candidates, but they could not in all good conscience vote for a capitalist candidate. The High Court found 5-1 that this was not a good enough reason. Justice Isaacs said, "There is no force whatever in the contention that a valid and sufficient reason exists for non-compliance with the primary duty of voting merely because no one of the ultimate candidates meets with the approval of the given elector." If that were admitted as a valid and sufficient reason, compulsory voting would be practically impossible. Each elector may be placed under a public duty to record his opinion as to which of the available candidates shall, in relative preference, become the representative in Parliament. So even if you hate them all, the law says pick one or pay the fine.